They were like two couples. There was Chantal and Daniel.
Mariah told her that she wasn't afraid.
You look like you're giving the body on fire.
And then she goes into a coma.
What the hell kind of man is that?
No one could have imagined what would happen next. An exemplary student. He studies well, the professors are satisfied with him, and no one even suspects. Why did this happen? What preceded this event? Jealousy? Revenge? Or something else? It seems that not everyone is in the mental state they seem to be.
Police department search warrant! Come to the door!
They were not like other teenagers, imagining fun and games. Their imaginations were terrifying. They were hungry for blood.
Is there a reason why you didn't stop back there?
Yeah.
Well, we saw him talking to him, so we didn't know.
Okay, well, he yelled at you guys and then turned around because he walked up on him. I yelled at you guys, you didn't stop.
No, I did not hear you.
Right, well, let's walk back over here, okay?
Sure.
Bryan Christopher Kohberger, age 28, was taken into custody in Monroe County, Pennsylvania on December 30th, 2022, on 4 counts of first-degree murder and felony burglary. The judge made a statement.
Bryan C. Kohberger, on or about November 13th of 2022, in Latah County, state of Idaho, did unlawfully enter a residence.
On November 13th, 2022, in the early morning hours, 4 University of Idaho college students were fatally stabbed at a shared rental house close to the school, where 3 of them lived. Madison Mogen, Kaylee Gonzalez, and Zana Kernodle were the 3 female victims who resided at the home, and Ethan Chapin was Kernodle's boyfriend who was staying over on the night of the attacks. Fortunately, the other 2 female residents of the home were not assaulted. Moscow PD Captain Roger Lanier gave a statement after this horrific crime.
The loss of Xana, Kaylee, Madison, and Ethan remains the highest priority for the Moscow Police Department.
Their sleeping schedule was as follows.
Bethany and Dylan were sleeping on the first floor. Since then, we've learned Dylan was sleeping here on the second floor, along with Xana and Ethan located here. Kaylee and Madison were located here on the 3rd floor. The dog was located on the 3rd floor and the room by itself.
And then everything started.
The suspect enters through the back sliding door. He pauses at the stairs to look around to make sure no one's up. He then turns and goes upstairs.
After that, he continued with his plan.
Outside, there's a security camera picking up some whimpering, cries, and a thud at 4:17. We've learned that Xana was found on the floor, which might explain the thud.
Before the murders happened, he stalked the victims, like a predator stalking its prey.
This hinders his plan, and he now has to rethink things. He continues on to the back where he sees even more lights on. From the affidavit, we know he drove by the house 3 times in less than 5 minutes, probably trying to figure out what to do next.
On the evening of November 12th, between the hours of 8 p.m. and 9 p.m., Chapin and Kernodle, 2 of the 4 victims, attended an on-campus party at the nearby Sigma Chi fraternity. At 1:45 a.m., they went back home. The other 2 victims that night were best friends Mogen and Gonzalez, who had arrived at the downtown sports bar The Corner Club at 10 p.m. and left at 1:30 a.m. Mogen and Gonzalez were captured in a live-streamed video on Twitch by the Grub Truck, a food truck located 4 blocks away at Friendship Square, at 1:41 a.m., talking and smiling. 10 minutes later, they received their food, and then they left to take what the police initially believed to be an Uber ride home, a distance of about 1 mile or 1.6 kilometers. The trip was given by a private party, according to the police's revised version of the events, and they got there at 1:56 in the morning. Before we continue the story, hit that like and subscribe button for more content like this. The 2 surviving roommates had returned home by 1 a.m., and original reports said that they were in their beds on the ground floor of the home at the time of the killings. They were not attacked or held hostage. The original reports stated that both surviving roommates did not awaken during the killings. However, according to the affidavit for the case, one surviving roommate fell asleep on the second floor, which is also the floor where Kernodle and Chapin were sleeping when she was awakened by Gonclaves and her dog. Later, she overheard one of her roommates remark something along the lines of, "There's someone here." The roommate thought Gonzalez stated this, but authorities think Kernodle could have spoken since a forensic download of her phone revealed that at 4:12 a.m. she was using the TikTok app. In a little period of time, the surviving roommate opened the door twice. The second time, she heard what appeared to be crying coming from Kernodle's room, and a man's voice saying, "It's okay, I'm going to help you." Starting at 4:17 a.m., whimpering, a loud thump, and a dog barking repeatedly were captured by security cameras next to the house. A third time, the surviving roommate opened the door and noticed a figure walking toward her wearing black clothes and a mask that covered the person's mouth and nose. The roommate did not identify the man as he passed her and went out the sliding glass door. It is uncertain if he noticed her. The roommate stood in a frozen shock phase and then locked herself in her room. Joseph Scott Morgan, forensic expert, has something to say about this.
Every time that knife is inserted and withdrawn, you're creating more evidence all along the way. In addition to that, if he has been injured in any way, he's commingling his DNA.
Dr. Carol Lieberman, forensic psychiatrist, added to that.
And this was someone who had to have a huge amount of rage to slash 4 people.
Nima Ramani, one of the lawyers who accompanied the case, did not remain vague.
What I would like if I were prosecuting this case and you're dealing with a quadruple stabbing, I would like a lot more forensic evidence.
The killer's lawyer asked for more time for them to better prepare.
We are going to ask the court to set preliminary hearing out into June. We would request the 3rd or 4th week of June and probably 4 or 5 days for preliminary hearing.
Forensic psychologist Dr. John Delatorre gave his statement on the eve of this case.
What actually happened was that he was a mass killer, right? That because there was 3+, sometimes it's 4+, depending on what law enforcement agency that you ask, whoever did this should actually be considered a mass killer.
He even added to that.
Still so much to learn about who Bryan Kohberger is, not just as the person alleged to have committed this crime, but just who he is and how he walked through his life.
A number of items, including a mobile phone, black gloves, black masks, computers, a Smith & Wesson pocket knife, and a dagger in a leather sheath, were taken from the suspect's Pennsylvania residence following his arrest, according to an evidence log. Additionally, authorities confiscated a white 2015 Hyundai Elantra that the suspect's attorney had said he had used to travel with his father to his parents' house for the holidays. According to court records, detectives disassembled the car and took pieces, fibers, and swabs for additional testing.
Do you understand the maximum penalty? Yes. Okay, Ms. Taylor, is Mr. Kohberger prepared to plead to these charges?
Your Honor, we will be standing silent.
Okay, because Mr. Kohberger is standing silent, I'm going to enter not guilty pleas on each charge. Counts 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Since being detained in December at his parents' Pennsylvania home and transported back to Idaho, where he is currently awaiting trial, Kohberger has been imprisoned without bail.
Kohberger's trial is set for October 2nd of this year for the stabbings of Ethan Chapin, Xana Kernodle, Madison Mogen, and Kaylee Gonzalez at a home in Moscow.
From May 22nd, 2023, prosecutors must formally disclose in writing whether they intend to ask for the death penalty in their case against the defendant. Unfortunately, there are events like this that happen all over the world. Fortunately, they also stand in line waiting for their punishment. We expect the harshest verdict for these monsters, and pray that this never happens again. No one deserves this kind of ending. Thank you for watching.